Good evening. My name is David Brockermeyer, and today I'm going to be going over my individual SWOT analysis with you. To start things off, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and raised here in Houston, Texas. Went through private schooling my whole life. Did Trinity Lutheran downtown, which is on the corner of Houston and Washington Avenue, right by the courthouse. Also went to Lutheran High North for my high school education, and then ventured off into the public school world. Work in school, that's pretty self-explanatory. I decided that I kind of wanted to not go the usual route and just attend college and rack up student loans. I know I'd be missing out on maybe some of the things such as fraternities and the small town, just college atmosphere kind of style life. But I was okay with that because I figured in the end I could possibly come out with a lot less student debt, if hopefully none. What ended up happening is I've been working this whole time from the time I graduated high school and to my current state. I'm currently working in the title plant at a title company, Texas American Title. Been working there for a little while now. Before this, I worked at a law firm doing title examining work for that company as well. Obviously, my future, I'd like to be a landman, something in the oil and gas industry, maybe do some type of financial work, analytical opportunities that may arise within the company, pretty much anything in the oil and gas industry, because I'm really obsessed with real estate and land, and I like to make money. Hobbies, I'm really just like anything outdoors, as long as it's a nice day. I love grilling, hunting, fishing, hiking. Recently, my girlfriend and I just went to Big Bend National Park over in West Texas and climbed Emery Peak, which is the second highest mountain in Texas. I know it's not really saying too much, but it was really cool and very beautiful, and just enjoyed being outdoors and doing things like that. To get down to my SWOT analysis, I believe that some of my strengths would be communication skills. I'm pretty easygoing and can normally conversate, and really just don't have any problems talking to people, getting my point across clearly. My problem-solving abilities are really great, I believe. My girlfriend also believes that too, because it seems that if we are ever in a bind and need to figure out where to eat, I am really good at picking that out. Also, problem-solving abilities is a hard one to really narrow down, because there's so many things that really I can attribute to that. My ability to coincide with coworkers. I'm really good with other people. It's very rare that I really just don't like you. You really have to do something pretty bad to make that happen. But even inside of a working atmosphere, even if you don't like someone, you really have to build the ability to either learn how to deal with it, and that could be with, just putting it off, paying no mind to it, addressing the issue with the person, or, taking it to management if necessary. But like I said, I'm really good with working with people as well. Some of my weaknesses, though, would be a stubborn attitude. A lot of times I do have a tendency to think, my way or the highway, because I just don't understand why my way of doing things isn't the right way. But at the same time, I like to think that I'm pretty open to other people's opinions and not just singling out my own. But that is something that I think I could definitely work on. Procrastination, I definitely also think is something that I might have a problem with. I do tend to wait to the last minute because it only takes a minute. My punctuality is also something that I kind of have to work on. As far as being prompt to work, for some reason, it seems like I can't get that across in my head. I feel like if I do great work and I do it efficiently and effectively, and everybody likes me. I kind of put it in my head that it's not a big deal that I'm late or, you know, absent from work if I'm still getting all the work done that other people in my position get work done in the same amount of time. My opportunities, though, in this field of oil and gas is the fact that it's back on the rise. Recently, for the past 5 to 10 years, has been kind of on the downhill edge, and a lot of people got laid off. It's obviously a very cyclical kind of industry. It's definitely got its up and downs, and it's proved that through the course of time. Another opportunities are the fact that I do know quite a few people in the oil and gas industry. I've got family in the oil and gas industry. And a lot of the things that they've told me is basically that it's hard for me to get in, especially now with the kind of downfall, even though it's coming back on the rise. But I didn't have my college degree, and that was a big deal in just getting my foot in the door. Since there are so many people that want to be in that industry, you know, that's one of those jobs where you turn your resume, and if you don't have that, it just slips to the end of the pile. Another opportunity would be the fact that I am going to have my degree soon, so I look forward to utilizing that degree. And I've also got a PLM certification from UHD, which is Petroleum Land Management. I've also got an entrepreneurial certification, I believe, because I took the entrepreneur and entrepreneurship courses at UHD. So basically just a lot of knowledge I think I have at my fingertips that I could definitely utilize in oil and gas. I also live in Houston, Texas, which happens to be probably the #1 city in America for oil and gas. It's another reason that the city's grown as much as it has in the past years. So many people moving here for work because we have it. We've got plenty of it. There are threats, though, to the oil and gas industry, and that's the fact, like I just said, everybody wants to be in it, because when you're in it and it's hot, and you make great money. The problem, though, with a lot of people that have been in it, they'll tell you, you know, when it's bad, it's bad. And so you got to kind of figure out a happy medium in there, figuring out how to save when you can, and, you know, figure out how to make that money last whenever the threats of it being in that bad cyclical progression are. A lot of other companies went down, so there's not with all these people wanting to be in it, you also have to look at the fact that there's a lot of companies that have gone under, so there's not as many roles and, you know, landman positions to just get started in. Also, I think the #1 thing, which is kind of with any job or profession when you're coming out of college, especially for people that didn't work and go like myself, the lack of experience in that field. The problem with that is, you know, I've been going to school and I've been trying to get in that field, but I can't get in that field without experience, and I can't get experience if I don't have a degree to gain that experience. So it's kind of like a catch-24. It's just a hard thing to deal with. Here's some of the life goals, short-term and mid-term, on this page, followed by the long-term and summary of those things. Currently, my short-term strengths, I want to be able to communicate really well with people, since I'm just getting into the industry, and build those relationships. I know I previously stated that I already have some relationships, but I'd like to build upon those even more. You know, you can't say that enough. Networking is a big deal in the professional world. Weaknesses, like I said earlier, I am stubborn right now, and sometimes don't give enough attention to other ideas and colleagues when they share their information. But I do plan, and I think I am actively working on that and doing well. Opportunities, networking with people in this field and building off of the current relationships, obviously, is a huge opportunity for me. Now that I'm going to be able to have my foot in the door with this degree and everything that it allows and opens up for me. The threats, like I said earlier, is just the fact that there's so many people wanting it and so little jobs available. In the midterm, I'd like for my strengths to be already in the field, and my ability to keep learning and gaining information and knowledge in the field. Really being able to focus. I know that a lot of very wealthy and privileged people in this world, um, Warren Buffett and Steve Jobs, I believe, were the two people that were quoted for saying the one thing that led to their success. They both wrote down one word to summarize that, and it was focus. So I do believe that's a strong thing. When you get focus in on something and really dig into it, you can really learn a lot more about yourself and a lot about that field. Weaknesses, I'm scared that I'm probably going to become less sociable and too focused on the work, which might get me tunnel vision and, not really help me progress in some of the aspects of the job that I would want to be growing in. Opportunities, promotions. I'd like to have, obviously going up higher in these fields with whatever company I happen to be with. And then other companies wanting me, that would be really great opportunities in the next 5 years of my life. The threats, I think that with the way politics are right now and the media and just people wanting to shut down pipelines and, all kinds of regulations on international business and regulating, people bringing stuff in and, us sending stuff out. It's just right now kind of a real sticky and, touchy subject. So I think that could be a little bit of a threat come in the future. As far as long-term goals, in 10 years from now, I'd love to be in a position with a company where I'm leading, I'm in a position to be advising people on, not necessarily just the business, but life things. And, that's something I've learned as I've been in the business, corporate and smaller business even, is a lot of things that are problems with companies and the way you deal with them really does translate into your regular day, everyday life. So I'd love to be in a position to be, having a positive outcome, not just for the company, but also for myself and the individuals I work with. Weaknesses, I'd love to have the weakness that I have a hard time saying no to donating to foundations and local charities that I'd love to be a part of. I'd like to think I'm a pretty good person, and I like to help out my fellow neighbors as much as possible. And I'm talking about just bringing in trash cans for your neighbors, or saying hi, or telling people thank you, yes sirs, no ma'ams, holding doors for people, just small things, and being a good person in the community. That's just something I really strive for. And so that is the opportunity that I look forward to being able to embrace and open up to with open arms. Threats in the next 10 years, it's that cyclical rise and fall scenario that I told you about earlier. 10 years from now, I know it's on the rise now, but in 10 or 15 years, it could be easily back on the downside. And that's just a problem that you have to work through and face, but hopefully with technology in this time, to be able to kind of get past that and know exactly what to do. The way I would plan on achieving these goals is basically everything that I've stated on these strengths that I've listed. I want to use my problem-solving skills, my communication skills, the knowledge that I've gained throughout college and life in general, just to have a lasting effect, not only on my career and the job I work for, but on the community around me, and being able to make the world a better place. Obviously not all of it, because that's really difficult, but if I can focus on my community and focus on certain things, I think that'd be spectacular, and that's a real overall long-term life goal for me. So just to finish up and conclude this SWOT summary, I want to capitalize on my strengths. I want to make sure that I utilize everything that God has given me in my arsenal. I want to make sure that I do my family proud, I do my name proud, I do myself proud. I want to minimize my weaknesses. I want to try and be completely open-minded, be less stubborn, learn to basically just learn to get along even better with others, not just think that my way is the right way every time, and understand that there are plenty of other views and observations and opinions that can be thrown into the mix that could easily be better than any idea I ever had. And if not, you know, maybe it makes my idea better, or maybe I find out that my ideas really aren't all they're cracked up to be. And the last but not least is turning my weaknesses into opportunities. I want to make sure that anything that I'm struggling with, I find a way with my strengths to turn it into an opportunity. And if that's being stubborn, I want to use my problem-solving skills to really be able to turn that stubborn weakness into an opportunity where, and yes, I'm stubborn on that issue, but maybe me being stubborn on that issue gets me into a position where I'm talking with maybe someone higher up in the company because I'm not willing to sacrifice or, you know, get off of one of my things I'm negotiating for, and it ends up that the person I'm talking to needs to get in touch with the management, and that gets me in touch with management, and then the management and I talk. They realize I'm a pretty cool person, and we get to talking, and that's just another relationship built. And so there's just a lot of things that I'd really like to do in my life, and I think that doing stuff even like this was really good for me to kind of separate where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for your time. Hope you have a good night.